Thank you. All right, microphone's on. The first one
Good morning, Judge.
hold on a minute. All right, you ready?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, go ahead.
There's 3 cases that we would like to call out of order, Judge, just for safety reasons here.
Okay.
On page 8, Mr. Dixon.
All right, I don't
He is
have.
Clarence Dixon.
All right, I don't have the same docket that you have there. Where is he in relation to the last page or the first page? How many pages is your docket, in other words?
A total of 21.
All right, so he's somewhere in the middle.
More like a third of the way.
Okay. Here it is. I got it. Clarence Dixon. All right, I'm going to find probable cause.
Judge, Mr. Dixon has lived in South Florida his whole life. He's not working at this time, but he would be able to afford a $2,000 bond. And if Your Honor would be inclined to placing him on pretrial release, call for a couple times on top of the monetary bond.
Okay, state.
Good morning, Your Honor. Vanessa Terrades on behalf of the state.
Sorry, Judge. Can you ask the state to get a little closer? I cannot hear them at all.
Good morning, Your Honor. Vanessa Terrades on behalf of the state.
Okay. Well, let's see. Why don't we discuss his prior record, if any? Any prior record? That's usually going to be my first question.
Okay. Your Honor, he has a 2011 resisting without violence, a 2019 aggravated battery. It was declined. He has a 2011 assault law enforcement officer, 2009 resisting without violence, 2008 delivery of cocaine, 2008 trespass, 2006 delivery of cocaine, 2006 possession of cocaine, 2004 possession of cocaine. He did 22.9 months state prison. 2004 possession of cocaine. And a 2000 possession of cocaine.
Okay. What's your recommendation on this? So we got the domestic battery, which is what, a third-degree felony?
Correct, Judge.
Ag assault with a deadly weapon. I think that's a third-degree felony as well, correct?
It's actually a second, I believe.
State, second?
One moment, Your Honor.
It's a third-degree felony.
That's what I thought. Okay, third degree. False imprisonment, child under 13 years of age. I think that's a third-degree felony. And a resisting an officer without violence is a misdemeanor. He's got a $100 bond on that. So basically, he's got 3 third-degree felonies, and you're telling me to set a $2,000 bond, which is, right in the range for something like this. So I'll set $1,000 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2, and $100 on count 3. And I'll order no victim contact, obviously, but what else in terms of monitoring by pretrial? What kind of monitoring can you do on this? Standard?
We would be
Judge,
requesting standard pretrial release to have him call at least twice per week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just worried about him. He's according to the PC sheet, he's romantically involved with this lady, and she.
Your Honor, the state would request the no contact order pursuant to Florida Statute 903.047.
Right, I'm going to do that, but I'm just wondering how you monitor that. Well, let's just try standard pretrial for now and see how that works. Okay. All right. Next is Bianca Binlos.
Judge, I apologize again. There was 2 more that we
Oh, yeah,
needed to
okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Also on the same page, Judge, Mr. Pita, Leandro Pita.
Got it. Yeah, I read the PC on this. It looked, any argument on PC on this?
Judge, if you could give me 2 seconds, I gotta take a quick look at this one.
Yeah, he took his grandmother's phone and when she was trying to call the police, and he wanted to go out, and Mom didn't want him to go out. And he stepped outside before the situation got any worse. State, what's your position on this while he's looking at that?
Oh, my Honor.
When it comes to count 2, I would actually make an argument objecting to PC that the way the PC reads, it seems that when he was maybe trying to take the phone away from the grandmother, there wasn't actually a battery yet, so there was no case yet. There was nothing to report. They were going to report that he was leaving the house, which isn't a crime. They weren't going to report a crime. So I would say the facts are out of order to be able to charge that crime. If the battery happened first, I think there'd be PC, but because the battery allegedly happened second, I don't think there's PC as to count 2.
What's the state's position on it? No priors?
Good morning, Your Honor. No, none that we see out of Broward.
Right.
Your Honor, just based on the facts that he got so upset that he couldn't go out because his parents told him he couldn't, throwing a cup of...
That never happens.
Right. But to the point that he's throwing, drinks and, his family's members' faces, the state's
Right.
position...
Yeah, I'm going to find probable cause for a simple battery, but not the domestic violence. And I'm going to find PC on the misdemeanor. I'm just going to release him on his own recognizance. All right?
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
can we ask for no victim contact?
I don't want to, he lives there. It's mom and grandmother. We don't want him wandering the streets, do we?
Can we do, no harmful contact?
No harmful contact we can do. All right. All right,
Judge, the last one,
go ahead.
for purposes of calling early, is 3 pages ahead from the one we just did, number 11 on my docket. He is the second person on that list, Mr. John Pribila.
Spell the last name.
Przybila.
Yeah, here it is. I'm glad you spelled it, or I wouldn't have found it. All right, this is a capias for a misdemeanor? Municipal ordinance, all right? Anybody here for the, okay, all right. This is John Dean Rizbla. How do you pronounce it?
You're on page. Calm down. It's okay. I'm here for you. Don't worry.
All right. This is a misdemeanor capias,
Municipal ordinance, Judge?
right?
Okay. Yes. Looks like City of Hollywood for trespass.
All right, what does everybody want to do?
John, do you want to resolve your case today?
Contest.
You'd like to plead no contest. Do you
All right.
understand that that means you're going to be resolving your case and giving up all your rights to go to trial, confront witnesses, see evidence? Is that what you want to do?
It said no contest.
Okay, you said no contest.
All right, I'll accept his no contest plea and, any priors? I guess you guys don't run these because it's a municipal ordinance.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, I'll withhold adjudication and, take, notice of the time he spent in, jail.
Thank you, Your
You know,
Honor. Have a
all right.
nice day, John. You're all finished. Thank you, Judge.
All right, that's it for the, cases out of order?
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, Bianca Bindloss?
Here, main jail, Judge.
Okay. All right, any priors?
One second, Judge.
There you go.
No, Your Honor, not out of Broward County.
All right, she's got, probation violation or community control, no bond holds. For what?
It's out of Dade County, Judge, for child-related issues.
All right. Any argument on probable cause?
No, Judge, we'd just be requesting that Your Honor ROR her on count 1 so she could go to Dade County to take care of her violation of probation. She's going to be held no bond, and on that, you could order a no contact order so she be released at any point before coming back.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm gonna ROR her on, count 1 and, issue a, no contact order with the victim. All right, Dawn Unruh? Unruh. Unruh?
Unruh, yes.
Good morning.
Morning, Don.
What, where's she at?
North Broward.
North Broward, all right. There we go.
Yeah, I've got a ticket here that I went to court on in July and it was dismissed.
This,
This is an open container violation.
It was dismissed.
Okay,
I'm looking it up, Judge.
They put out a bench warrant for the same ticket.
Your Honor, if I remember correctly, we've previously been appointed to Ms. Unruh's case. She was assigned to community court, and she declined participation, so her case was sent back to a regular division to be arraigned, and it looks like she
But-
missed a
but-
count.
Why would I go to community court? I pled no contest. No contest, and she said dismissed.
Who's she? Do you remember who the judge was?
She,
Judge
no,
Barner?
she had long blonde hair.
Oh, that's definitely not Judge Barner.
Could be Judge Levy.
Yeah, but
She was pretty and she had long blonde hair.
Judge, it looks like it was assigned regular division judge, Judge Brown. I do remember her in community court and her case being transferred.
I'll tell you
out.
what, I'm just gonna dismiss it.
Okay,
It's just dismissed. Dismissed.
all right, you're all set. Have a
Have a
nice
good
day,
day.
Don.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Tamara Busey, there she is. Bussy?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this is another warrant. All right, so I'm going to find probable cause. It's a violation of probation on a misdemeanor. And it looks like Cal Evans issued the warrant. Leaving the scene of an accident. She have a bond on this, $1,500?
Correct, Judge. And she also has a private attorney, Nicholas Estella. She also has a private attorney, Nicholas Estella, who's not present this morning. Miss Bussey wanted to talk directly to you. So she refused my services.
Okay, so what kind of bond can you make?
I'm on disability, sir, and my mom just passed a year ago, so I have no one. I didn't even know I was on probation because I hired the attorney through the insurance company, and they never got back with me. I kept in touch with them for a long time, and they said it was still postponed. It was still postponed, and I was coming home from the store with a neighbor yesterday, and the cops pulled me over and told me I had a warrant.
Okay, how about if I just release her on her own recognizance? Do you have a place to stay?
Yes, sir. I live on Northwest 7th Avenue in my place.
Your place, all right.
It's called my place, yes.
All right. Is it your place like your house, or is it called?
It's a home. There's 7 houses on the block
Uh-huh.
that a gentleman owns that he rents the rooms, and it's called my place.
All right, so
Bryce-
you rent
Bryce Car-
you rent a room there,
Yes, I've been there for 6 months.
okay? Have you all evaluated her eligibility for? You did not. What's that? Okay. When's she set for court next? Tuesday. You know, you're probably better off staying there until Tuesday and resolving this with Judge Evans when you appear in front of him and just having it done and not have to come back at all. What do you think?
My car is sitting at Walgreens. They didn't tow it, and I'm
Okay.
not sure that somebody got it, although they said they were gonna do it. You know, I don't know if.
All right,
they
well,
did.
let me just tell you so it's on the record. You have to be in court on Tuesday in front of Judge Cal Evans.
Okay.
And at what time? Do you know?
Well, Judge, if you are heard, they're gonna push the court date out.
Oh, they'll push the court date back if I release you. I'll tell you what,
I'll show up in court, sir. I've always, even when I've bonded out, I've always showed up to court.
okay, and there's no priors. I'll just release you on your own recognizance then.
Your Honor, there are priors. She
There are
has
priors?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you got by way of priors?
She has a 2010 trafficking in oxycodone, a possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yes,
and
I
a
showed up for
2000
court and I finished my probation.
Yeah, it's just
I I haven't been involved in the
Yeah,
system since.
what ends up happening is if, of course, if you don't show up in court, it just keeps going and going and going, and you keep getting picked up over and
No, I
over and over
understand.
again. All right.
I understand.
I'll release you on your own recognizance, all right? Just make sure that,
Thank you.
that court date's gonna change. Do you all have her correct address, by the way? In terms of, give me your address again.
1034 Northwest 7th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33311.
You got it? Okay. I'm just releasing you on your own recognizance, all right? Just
Thank
be,
you, sir.
all right.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, Trakivia Watson,
Main jail, Judge.
main jail, all right? All right, I'm gonna find probable cause.
Judge, Ms. Watson is 18 years old. There's a $25 bond on this that she's unable to afford. We'll just be requesting that she be released on her own recognizance. This is her first, according to this, charge as a first offense.
All right, done. She's released on her own recognizance, and I'm gonna find probable cause.
Thank you.
Yep, next is Susan Schultz,
Main jail as well.
okay? I'm gonna find probable cause.
Judge, Ms. Schultz is 20 years old. She has resided in South Florida for the last 5 or 6 years. She's currently not employed. Being advised that the vehicle did belong to the mother. There was an issue with the family. There's a $1,000 bond right now that she is unable to post. I'll be requesting that she be released on her own recognizance, or alternatively to the supervision of pretrial services and placed on standard pretrial release.
All right, Ms. Schultz, do you live at home? Do you live at home with your mom?
No, I live with my boyfriend's family right
Okay.
now.
All right, a standard pretrial. I'm gonna, place her in pretrial. And there's probable cause. Purple Rain Evans,
Main jail, Judge.
okay? It's a warrant, so there's a probable cause, and it's a violation of probation, so I'll leave it, no bond at this time for the judge and the division to handle it, all right? All right, thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
All right. Next is Jacqueline Nebloni. Main jail?
Should be North Broward.
North Broward,
It
all
might
right?
be a medical reset. I have not spoken to her.
North Broward, he's a medical reset.
Medical reset, all right?
Thank you.
Yep. Next is Vinantre Joseph Lewis. Main jail?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. It's a out-of-state hold, so there's a warrant from another state, and I'm gonna find probable cause.
Thank you.
She'll be held over. Thank you. Michael Price. Main jail?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Another out-of-state hold with a warrant, so I'm gonna find probable cause and he'll be held over. How long are they holding people over these days for these out-of-state holds?
Usually held
Depends on-
Tuesdays, it's usually held Tuesdays or Thursdays for extradition court.
Okay.
So hopefully either 2 days or 4 days.
Okay, all right, great. All right, next is Robert Steimel, or Steimley? Main jail?
Yes, Judge.
Same thing. Out-of-state hold with a warrant, so I'm gonna hold him over and find probable cause.
Thank you.
Okay? Next is Devin Palmer.
Main jail, Judge.
Okay?
Judge, while he's approaching, because I know my colleague doesn't have access to the information, I'll just let Your Honor know. When it came to the capias,
Uh-huh.
it was returned to the court, so it was mailed from the court. the judge issued the capias, but then the notice was returned. And so I'm not sure if Mr. Palmer ever received notice, just so Your Honor knows.
Okay, well, if he didn't receive notice, then he shouldn't have been capious, but I'm sure the judge didn't know it.
So it was mailed, arraignment date came, judge issued capias, then the notice was.
Came back,
So the
okay.
judge didn't know that.
All right, I'm gonna ROR him on the capious.
He still has count one, Judge.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it to
Sorry.
see, reread it again. I'm gonna find probable causes to count one, but let me just see what to do. What are you requesting?
Judge, he has lived in South Florida 27 years. He does have kids, and he's currently employed at a car wash, but he's not able to afford a monetary bond. If you could release him to the supervision of pretrial services and put him on standard pretrial release.
Okay, what's his record?
Your Honor, no priors out of Broward.
No priors? Then I'll just put him on standard pretrial and no victim contact, okay? Yeah, he's ROR. Edward Serra, Serra.
Main jail, Judge.
All right, I'm gonna find probable cause.
Judge, Mr. Serra has lived in South Florida for many years. He does have extensive ties to the community here. He's not employed at this time and unable to pay a monetary bond. I understand the nature of the issue. I know that Your Honor found probable cause, but this is a family dispute. I'd just be requesting that he be released on his own recognizance, not to have any adverse contact with his brother. And I would be requesting an order for, if he isn't able to get out, for the PD's office to be able to take pictures of Mr. Serra.
All right, well, I'm also gonna put a condition on any release of no alcohol as well. No alcohol while he's out. And standard pretrial release is all right. He lives at home, I guess, with, his mom and his brother?
Correct.
All right. Well, the victim contact, it's his brother who lives there as well, I think, right? Is the
That's
victim.
true.
Your Honor,
This was an exchange of pepper spray and then some punches between two brothers at home. I don't know, no violent contact with any family member, okay? He can have I'm not gonna keep him out of his house, but no violent contact. That'll violate him immediately. All right, thank you. Next is William Torres.
Coming up, Judge.
All right. I think he does need an interpreter. Let me just double check that. I think he was in.
I speak English.
No, Mr.
You do?
Torres, Judge. He's
Okay.
good.
All right. It's a domestic dispute with his sister, and I'm gonna find probable cause. Now, what are we doing here as far as recommendations?
Your Honor,
Judge, Mr. Torres is currently on SSI. He cannot afford a monetary bond. He is employed at Michael's Pizzeria. He would like the opportunity to keep that job, so we would be requesting he be placed on standard pretrial release, similar conditions to the one that we had previously. No violent contact if he does reside with his sister.
State? Priors?
Not out of Broward, Your Honor.
None in Broward? All right.
Your Honor, the state would ask for a no contact order.
Does your sister live at the same place you do?
Yes, sir. Rent there.
I'll do standard pretrial with no violent contact. You know what that means, no violent contact? The first time that, she calls the police, you're back in jail. So, no violent, no arguments, nothing.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'll keep away from.
All right. All right, this is Giovanni Dos Santos Goncalves.
Judge, Mr. Dos Santos would require an interpreter,
All right.
Portuguese preferably. He is fluent in Spanish, however. if there's
He's
not-
fluent in Spanish. All right, Madam Interpreter, do you solemnly swear to truly and accurately translate from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your ability?
Yes, Your Honor.
And state your name for the record.
Yes, Evelyn Perez.
Okay? All right, I'm going to find probable cause.
Voy a encontrar causa probable para usted.
And now the issue is bond.
Y ahora el problema es la fianza.
And whatever I do requires no contact with the victim.
Lo que yo haga va a requerir que no tenga contacto con la víctima,
Who is the mother of your child?
que es la madre de su
Soon to be born child, not born yet.
de su bebé que está al nacer.
Sí.
Yes.
Judge, Mr. Dos Santos currently has a job, a construction business that he operates here. He is undergoing medical treatment for diverticulitis, and it's imperative that he does go out to continue his treatment. He's able to afford a monetary bond of up to $2,000 on this case. I understand, Your Honor, found probable cause. However, the allegations are very severely lighter than what the charge would encompass.
Your Honor, the state's asking for a $5,000 bond.
Señor juez, el señor Dos Santos tiene un empleo en el área de la construcción, también está recibiendo tratamiento por diverticulitis y puede poner una fianza de alrededor de $2,000. La fiscalía está pidiendo $5,000.
De fianza.
I'm sorry.
De fianza.
Oh, la fiscalía está pidiendo $5,000 de fianza.
That's good Spanish, Judge.
Thank you. Forgot that part. Going so
It's
fast.
all right.
Sorry. Thank you.
Why are you saying that it's less serious than what the charges entail?
Honestly, because I had misread the charge and I thought it was a little overcharged. Honestly, he should have known that she was pregnant, so never mind. I retract that statement, Judge.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. I didn't.
¿Por qué decía
Struck her
usted
in the
que,
arm, I see. Left shoulder.
que era menos serio? Simplemente no leí bien. Él debió haber sabido que ella estaba embarazada. Simplemente la tocó en el hombro izquierdo.
All right, so state your recommendation is $5,000 bond, no victim contact?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
La recomendación de la fiscalía es $5,000 de fianza y no contacto con la víctima.
Okay, but my question to Senor Dos Santos is where, in relation to where you stay, does the victim stay at the same place you do? Are you living together, or what's the status there?
Mi preocupación con usted, señor Santos, es en cuanto al lugar donde usted se está quedando. ¿La víctima también se queda ahí o dónde se está quedando usted?
Me voy a Brasil hoy mismo.
I'm going to Brazil today.
Oh,
That's what I
Your
heard.
Honor, the state will add for the defendant to surrender his passport.
Su señoría, la fiscalía está pidiendo que el acusado entregue su pasaporte.
are you a U.S. citizen or a Brazilian citizen?
¿Es usted ciudadano americano, señor, o de Brasil?
Brazilian citizen, Judge. He has no issue surrendering his passport.
Él es ciudadano brasileño, no tiene ningún problema entregar su pasaporte.
Where's your construction business? Here or in Brazil?
¿Dónde es su negocio de construcción, aquí o en Brasil?
Acá y allá. Yo lo estoy construyendo building allá y acá trabajo.
Here and there. I build there and here. I work in there and here.
Judge, if you would consider putting him on an ROR with pretrial release level 2 with a GPS, I think with that and surrendering his passport is the one way that it would ensure that he comes back. doesn't put any monetary burden on him, but make sure that he comes back and he doesn't leave the jurisdiction.
Señor juez, si usted consideraría dejarlo en libertad por su propia cuenta con el monitor electrónico y que entregue su pasaporte, no creo que vaya a ser un problema.
Let me ask it this way. Who lives at 677 Trace Circle, 209, Deerfield Beach, Florida, 33441? Is that your house, your apartment, or your girlfriend's house and apartment?
Déjeme hacerle esta pregunta. ¿Quién vive en el 6770 Trace Circle, Deerfield? I'm sorry.
209, Deerfield.
Yo vivo allá, este apartamento, yo lo pagué con mi señora.
I live there in that apartment. I paid it with my wife.
Okay. So you and she both live there, and she's your wife or your girlfriend?
Entonces, ambos de ustedes residen ahí y ella es su esposa o su novia.
Mi esposa.
My wife.
And how long have you been married?
¿Y por cuánto tiempo están casados?
8 años juntos, 5 años anteayer de casado.
8 years together and 5 years married.
Okay. Does she live here or does she live in Brazil?
¿Vive ella aquí o en Brasil vive ella?
Ella vive acá. Nosotros vamos seguido a Brasil porque yo estoy trabajando en Brasil también.
She lives here, but we go very often to Brazil because I'm also working in Brazil.
You know, I don't have a problem with him going to Brazil as long as he comes back for his court dates.
Yo no tengo ningún problema con que él vaya a Brasil
You know,
mientras
I mean, if
que
he's got
regrese
a business in Brazil and a
para
business
su
here,
corte.
I don't see a reason to, have him not work.
Si él tiene un negocio en Brasil, no veo una razón por la cual no deba trabajar.
He doesn't show any powers out of Broward County.
Okay.
The state's only concern is that
He returned for court.
Él no tiene ningún caso
You
anterior.
understand if I don't take your passport that,
Señor, ¿entiende usted que si yo no le quito su pasaporte,
that if you have a court date, you have to come here and appear in court? You
que si
understand
usted
that?
tiene una cita en el tribunal, usted tiene que venir para acá y aparecer en su cita? ¿Entiende eso?
Sí, yo soy hombre, todo lo cumplo.
Yes, I am a man and I comply with everything.
Yeah, what happens is if you don't show up for court, when you come back from Brazil, you just get arrested at the airport and thrown back in jail.
Lo que va a ocurrir, señor, es que si usted no aparece para su citatorio en corte, cuando usted regrese de Brasil, lo van a arrestar en el aeropuerto y usted va a estar en la cárcel otra vez.
You understand?
¿Entiende?
Es la primera vez que estoy acá, nunca pasé por esto.
That's
Entonces,
the first
te miro que
time
yo
that
no
I've been
soy de
here.
Okay.
I've never gone through this before.
Okay. I'm going to set his bond at $2,500.
Le voy a asignar su fianza a $2,500.
No harmful contact with your wife.
No contacto dañino con su esposa.
And you are allowed to travel back and forth between the United States and Brazil.
Y usted puede viajar hacia Brasil y de vuelta a los Estados Unidos, ¿ok?
You just have to make sure you appear for court.
Solamente asegúrese de que tiene que aparecer en el tribunal,
Okay?
¿ok?
Next is Jagdish Nanda,
Medical loan.
medical. Okay. Washington Lascano.
Main jail judge.
Hey, Judges, so I just want to inform you, I want to inform my colleague also. So Mr. Wascano's been in custody since September 19th. This capias was issued 6 days later on September 25th. So he was not
Medical needs.
transported for this court date, but he was in custody when the capias was issued.
Okay.
I'm going to ask for him to be ROR'd. I don't want him to resolve. From what I'm able to see, he's awaiting a program on some other cases. I don't want it to mess him up at all. I'd rather him get into his program and then deal with this in division so they can make sure it doesn't affect him and his program.
State.
We have no objection, Your Honor.
All right. So what do you want me to do at this point? Just ROR him?
Please.
Or fine, yeah, how about no PC? Because,
Oh, yeah, if you want to dismiss the capias, that's fine.
yeah, I'll just dismiss the capias.
That works.
Thank you, Judge.
You gonna do an order on that? You probably do need to do a separate order. I don't think I can do it on this form that I have here. I mean, I'll write dismissed on here, but,
Already.
there we go. All right, next is, Stephen
Hi, James.
I. James, yeah.
No
No,
problem.
all right.
Davika Carr on his behalf. Hey, Stephen.
All right. Hello. This looks like a municipal ordinance, capias,
That's correct. He missed his arraignment September 18th.
right? And it's an open container?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna find probable cause. You wanna resolve it today and have this done and over with?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that you're waiving, you're gonna plead no contest, and I will accept a no contest plea, but by doing that, you're waiving your right to a trial, your right to see the evidence against you, your right to make the state attorney prove the charges against you, beyond all reasonable doubt to a jury, the right to an attorney, and the right to remain silent. You understand you're
Yes.
waiving those rights?
Yes.
And that's
Yes, sir.
that's what you wanna do?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll accept the no contest plea. I'm gonna withhold adjudication, and, I'm gonna, take judicial notice of the time that you've, spent
Thank you,
in
Your Honor.
jail. All right? Thank you.
Have a good day, Stephen.
That's what it means.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Okay, next is, John Figueroa.
Main jail, Judge.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna find, probable cause.
And Mr. Figueroa is okay with the monetary bond as currently set, Judge. He has a total of $350 bonds on counts 1
Okay.
and 3.
All right, I'll leave it the way it is then and find probable cause. Gal Zahar? Main jail?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna find, probable cause.
Thanks, Judge. Mr. Sahar is also okay with the monetary bond of $100 as presently set.
Okay, I'll just leave it the way it is then. Thank you. Pavlinic, Nenad Pavlinic,
Good morning, no problem.
North Broward, okay. All right, municipal ordinance. Looks like a disorderly conduct. Oh. And, Mr. Pavlinic is, appears to be homeless.
Your Honor, this is a Fort Lauderdale municipal ordinance. If he doesn't want to resolve, we could consider, if you'd like some resources, Mr. Pavlinic, we could possibly transfer your case to community court, and you could come on Wednesday. We could try to help you with your
Housing situation?
housing, but not just housing, it's also to address any other issues he may be facing,
Okay.
including any alcohol abuse if that's something. But you have to participate.
It has to be willing to participate.
Correct, and you would have to complete 10 hours of community service. But you would definitely get access to resources. We're a family there, so we help you out. No judgment, just.
Well, it sounded like that's what you were trying to do when you met up with this police officer was get some services. This community court will provide that for you. You willing to do that?
I try to get help, but I would plead no contest today, and I am in a connection. I contacted already task force, and I think I have. If you can just provide me help after I am released, it would be nice.
If I may, real quick, Judge.
Please, no
Yes.
contest.
Let me hear from the attorney that might be able to do that. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Mr. Pavlinic, if you allow us to transfer your case to community court, You can get all of those services that you're describing, but then once you finish your 10 hours of community service, the case will be dismissed. So you won't necessarily have to resolve to a no contest plea. I think that might be a better solution for you.
How does he get there? Does he have to be held over till Wednesday?
No, Your Honor, you could ROR him, but he would just have to agree to show up on Wednesday.
Okay.
He can be a walk-in. I'll do a short order.
Where does he show up?
It would be to the City Hall in Fort Lauderdale. Do you know where that is?
Downtown.
Yeah,
That's correct.
on the north side of Broward, right?
Correct. It's on Andrews.
Andrews on the north side of Broward.
Do you know where that is? Do you have a way of getting there?
I can find you, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you were released from jail today, where are you going to go?
There's a shelter available.
There is a shelter, okay. And where is it, near downtown, or where is it?
It's Salvation Army on 1440.
Okay, that's walking distance. All right, I'll release you on your own record. You want to sign up for this community court, or do you just still want to do the time served? I mean, the community court will get you the services you were looking for when you got arrested. It's up to you. I'm going to let you out either way today. I'm either going to release you on your own. I'm either going to release you on your own recognizance today, or I'm going to release you because you plead out to time served. So it's up to you, but the other way will get you the services you're looking for. Tell me what you want to do, and I'll be glad to do it.
I don't understand about community service. 10 hours, is that helpful?
What kind of stuff?
They have a list of places you can. Some individuals volunteer at community court. They show up a few hours early, help set up.
Right.
The judge sometimes allows for individuals to write a statement just describing their journey, and she'll offer community service hours.
Who's
for
the
that.
judge?
Judge Barner, Florence
Okay.
Barner.
Oh, yeah.
Barner. Yeah.
And you have a nice judge, and she's a really nice judge. Unlike me.
Well, you are nice too, Your Honor. Is that offer for recovery center?
Yes, they do offer. They do offer, depending on your medical situation, they do offer access to detox, to rehabilitation services.
Rehab, yes.
It's a great opportunity for you, and even if you just commit to trying, that's really all that we're looking for.
And if he doesn't like it, and
You
he
can always come back to regular division and resolve
Right.
his case at that time.
right, you can always plead no contest later if you want to, if you don't like it.
But at least this way you get access to some resources, and you can, try to get the services that you're looking for.
I already have connection with the
All right.
people.
All right, so you want to plead no contest? That's fine too. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I don't wanna obligations, and so
Okay.
please,
Yeah, I'll take your. All right, so
If
you're
I-
pleading. Go
if I
ahead.
find the time, Wednesday, I can stop by at the city center, right?
City Hall at
City
11
Hall.
o'clock.
City Hall, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
even if you don't have an open case, you're always welcome.
Maybe
Okay.
I can,
Yeah, you can do it voluntarily. That's true. You
Yeah.
can go there and just do it voluntarily, and you won't have.
Anything to do. Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right, you want to enter a no contest plea at this time?
No contest, yes.
All right, you understand that you're waiving your right to a trial, your right
Yes.
to have the evidence presented, your right to have an attorney, your right to remain silent, all those things are waived at this point. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Yes,
I'm gonna accept your no contest plea. I'm gonna sentence you to time served.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Have
All
a
right.
nice day, Mr. Pavlinick.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
day.
All right, Christopher Lewis?
Main jail judge.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna find probable cause.
Thank you, Judge. He has $100 bond set currently on count number 2. However, he's not able to afford any monetary bond at this time. He lives with his mom and one child. He has lived in South Florida his whole life. He does go to a labor pool and staffing agency, but that work as it appears. So he doesn't have any reliable income at this time. We'll just be requesting that you ROR him on that driving charge.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and release him on his own recognizance on that, and I'm gonna find probable cause. All right, you're all set. Don't drive without a license. Do not drive without a license.
All right.
All right. All right, next I have a Pompano Beach capias for a yeah, it's an open container violation, so there's probable cause. Yeah. Is he there at the main jail?
No, Judge. It shows us being in North Broward. Mr. Furlong is the one that you're.
Yep.
I just spoke to.
Yes.
He's in. It appears that he's in medical. Still another reset, but we've already been appointed, and so I would be asking Your Honor if you would be able to ROR him. That way, he can be released.
Well, the problem with RORing him is that he's homeless. It appears he's homeless from the probable cause affidavit. So there's no way to really get him notice of
His next court date.
his next court date. So why don't I just do this? Why don't I reset this
Okay.
for, the next date, and that way he can resolve it at that time.
Your Honor.
All right? Edgar Monette. Main jail? Monette?
Judge, sorry, he's here.
Okay. All right, assault, disorderly conduct, and trespass. There's no charge on the disorderly conduct, so he's got a misdemeanor assault, it looks like, with $100 bond.
Correct, Judge. That's the only charge that he has a bond on. Mr. Monet is currently not employed. He too participates with a labor pool named Pace Setters. Not a reliable source of income at this time. He was arrested on Friday and reset till today. Be asking that Your Honor ROR him on that assault charge.
All right, anybody? Any state, any?
Your Honor, he has a 2019 resisting without violence, time served, a 2019 trespass, a 2018 failure to leave property upon order, and a 2006 battery. The state's asking for a $100 bound on count 2 and 3.
2 and 3 are no charge. So they aren't filed. I mean, they're not bondable because there's no charge. Okay? The address of 2425 2nd Avenue North, 150 Lake Worth, Florida, 33461. Is that your address?
No, that's an old address, sir.
Oh. How do they get a hold of you for court if you have to come back to court for this?
I do not reside there, sir.
You're home.
I'm looking for a residence at a care resource center, but it's taking me some time.
Judge, if you place him on standard pretrial release, have him call at least twice a week, he'll be able to get his notice of his next court day as well as maintain contact with someone so we know that he's in the loop.
Yeah, that's absolutely. You can't return back to that Walgreens. You got to stay away from there.
That's fine, sir.
Okay. And no contact with any of the clerks there or anything like that, okay?
All right, or is that the same?
I'm going to put him on standard pretrial where he has to call in, and that way he can keep track of it and know when his court date is.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Judge.
Okay, Kendrick Freeman,
No problem, no.
North Broward, all right? All right. I'm going to find probable cause. And right now, he has a no bond hold on count 1 and 1,000 on count 2. I'm sorry. Why does it say 4, 5, and 6? Are there other charges?
There's 3 other counts. He's already being held on $9,500 bond that he hasn't been able to post.
All right.
But count 4, it's set for magistrate, so it's a bondable offense. We need to
Right.
set bond.
So what kind of bond do you request? $10,000?
I mean, I'm just asking for $1,000 on count 4, and then we'll leave 5 and 6. To be quite honest, he's not gonna be able to afford the
Right.
bond that's already set, so I'm just asking $1,000 account.
Judge, the state's asking for a $7,500 bond.
All right, why don't I do this? I'll set the bond at $2,000 on count 4, all right? And find probable cause. Grayson Alford,
Main jail, Judge.
I'm gonna find probable cause. It's a probation violation, felony, which has no bond. So it'll stay that way. So you go in front of the judge,
Thank you.
all right? Next is Michael Whitehead,
No problem, John.
all right? How about probable cause on this?
Judge,
Why is it a burglary instead of an attempted burglary?
But I would actually argue that they're going to potentially be trespasses. The reason why I would make that argument is that when he actually did gain entry, because most of them that it was testing doors, I would agree potentially that could be attempted. But when he finally gained entry, what he did is sleep, right? That to be burglary, there needs to be an intent to commit some sort of crime. When he actually did gain entry to in this case, I think it was the patio and then a shed, they only allege that he slept, that actually nothing was taken, that he tested the door and he was able to get into sleep. I would argue actually when he was trying to get into the cars was to get to sleep based on what we have here. So I would actually.
So the
argue
one,
that
it's
he should
it's
be
number 3,
trespassed.
burglary of an occupied dwelling, unarmed? That's the
Right,
one where
because
you,
they said he went in and he slept, which
Right.
For a burglary, you need to have the intent to commit a crime therein. Sleeping's not a crime.
state?
Your Honor, the state would ask that you find probable cause on an attempted burglary.
Well, on number 3, on the rest of them, I'm gonna find probable cause for an attempted burglary. But on number 3, which is the occupied dwelling, I'm gonna find probable cause for a trespass, not a burglary. There's no allegation that he went in with the intent to commit any crimes.
The judge, when it comes to Mr. Whitehead, he's lived in South Florida his whole life. He has family down here. Currently, he does not have any income. He is, he's 19 years old currently. I'm asking Your Honor if we can set some sort of either low monetary bonds, or if Your Honor would consider some sort of non-monetary release with a monitoring.
Your Honor, the state would ask for $5,000 bond on counts 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and count 3, $1,000 bond.
Well, let me find out a little bit more about Mr. Whitehead. Mr. Whitehead, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. First of all, tell me your full name.
Michael Whitehead.
All right. And where do you live, Mr. Whitehead? When you live at home?
I'm homeless.
Homeless, okay.
Your Honor, given that the state's concerned that the defendant will not return to court because there's no way to contact him.
So an attempted burglary of a conveyance is what? Is that a first-degree misdemeanor? Because it's an attempt?
It's still going to be a third-degree felony.
It is.
You can't drop it to a misdemeanor.
Okay.
So it would still be a third-degree felony.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 third-degree felonies and 1 misdemeanor for number 3. All right, I'm going to release him on his own recognizance on the trespass, which is 3. But on the rest of them, I think the only solution here is to set a bond. So on the rest of them, I'm going to set the bond at $1,000 on count 1, count 2, count 4, count 5, count 6, count 7, and count 8 for a total of $7,000.
Judge, if that's what you're going to do, I'm just going to ask for a $10 bond on count 3, just so he's getting credit.
All right, I'll set a $10 bond on count 3. Did you get all that? Ma'am, did you get all that? Okay, great. There's his paperwork. All right, good luck to you, sir. Okay, next is Andrios Merritt.
Main jail, Judge.
Okay. All right, I'm going to find probable cause. Didn't we have the co-defendant on this yesterday, or is it a reset from yesterday?
Yes, Judge. We did have the co-defendant yesterday. It's the same issue with it's their child.
Right. All right, well, I'm going to find probable cause, and right now he's got a bond on count 2 of $750, and there's no bond on count 1.
Correct, Judge. I believe that the co-defendant received pretrial release on the same charges yesterday. I'll be requesting that he also be placed on standard pretrial release, calling a couple times per week. He does reside with his girlfriend and their 3 kids. He is employed at IIG Tech, and he has been for the past 5 years.
Judge, I would just say for the court that, yeah, again, I do think it's questionable when it comes to probable cause for probable cause. You did find probable cause yesterday.
Yeah, I thought it was questionable too, but I thought it was on the questionable side of there was probable cause.
I understand.
Okay.
But the co-defendant, my colleague, is correct. You did give her pretrial. She was released yesterday.
Okay.
So I would ask for the same thing.
All right, any prior record, State?
Judge, a 2011 DWS.
Okay. All right, and yesterday I just did standard pretrial? All right, I'll do the same thing here. How about on the driving with license suspended, third or subsequent offense?
Judge, that is currently at 750. I would ask that you ROR him on that count and put him on standard pretrial on both counts.
Well, I mean, the problem with that is he keeps driving and without a license.
Judge, the state
Judge,
would,
sorry, go ahead.
Judge, the state would ask that you keep the bond at 750.
Go ahead.
That's a driving charge. It would be the one thing preventing him to getting out of custody. He understands that he cannot drive on a suspended license. There are issues that he is fighting in terms of he believes that the license should have been valid at that time, so I believe it might not even be with knowledge, but obviously that's not for us to argue today. But to hold him on the monetary bond on top of the pretrial release might be a little excessive because of the nature of the account that you would be holding him on. It's a driving charge.
I'll tell you what, instead of doing pretrial release, I'm going to do the level 2 with a monitor on him to make sure he doesn't go driving anywhere. But I'll do that. I'll get rid of the $750 bond, and I'll just put a special condition that it's a level 2 with a monitor. All right?
Thank you, Judge. Judge, the only issue with that, I'm being informed, it would prevent him from being released today because he won't be fitted with the monitor until tomorrow.
Well, then he shouldn't be driving without a driver's license then, and I wouldn't have to monitor him.
Your Honor, the crime allegedly occurred in a car, so we don't know if he drove that car either.
What's that?
The crime occurred in the car, so we don't even know if he drove this car. It just happened to be parked, so I mean, it just seems that
Right.
he keeps on driving. So.
Well, yeah, that's a problem. So. Yeah, man. Exactly. So now you got the problem that a condition of your release is that you not drive. So if you do drive again, it'll, the whole thing will just blow up, okay?
He understands that, Judge,
All right.
but again, I would just request that Your Honor reconsider it because, like you said,
Listen,
if he violates that term,
one
he's gonna
more
go to jail.
day in jail is going to be a good thing, not a bad thing at this point. So he needs to be aware how important this is that he not drive. He'll just have to wait for the monitor to get put on. It's just the way it is. Serious stuff. All right, next is Roman Perez Guzman.
Main jail, Judge.
Okay, I'm gonna find
And
probable.
we need a Spanish interpreter, sorry.
Okay. All right, you're still under oath from the last time I placed you under oath, and just for the record, state your name.
Yes, Evelyn Perez.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna find probable cause.
Voy a
Thank you, Judge. He
encontrar,
does have an immigration.
Wait, let her translate it.
voy a encontrar causa probable.
Okay, go ahead.
Proceda.
Judge, he has an immigration hold at this time. He does have 2 DUI counts with $1,000 bond on each. I would be requesting that Your Honor release him on his own recognizance on those 2. he will be transported down to Dade to deal with his immigration case.
Señor juez, él tiene una orden de detención de inmigración, también tiene 2 casos de manejar bajo la influencia del alcohol, con fianza de $1,000 cada uno. Estoy solicitando que usted lo deje en libertad por su propia cuenta para que él pueda ir a Miami y resolver su caso de inmigración.
Okay, let me just clear one thing up. He has 2 pending DUI cases, or he has 2 counts in this DUI case?
Déjeme aclarar algo. ¿Tiene 2 casos de DUI o 2 cargos de un caso de DUI? Tiene 2 cargos, 2 acusaciones bajo un caso.
It is 2 counts. I believe they would need to be consolidated at one point. One seems to be the enhanced DUI, and the other one the regular DUI count.
Son 2 acusaciones, creo que deben ser consolidadas en un caso regular.
I think, though, the unlawful breath alcohol level is a separate count. It does get filed as a separate count, I believe.
Correct, Your Honor.
Right. So it's 2 counts, but stemming from one incident.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, the state's concerned that the defendant is a risk of flight. He does not appear to live here. And further, Your Honor, he has a 2007 DUI prior.
Su señoría, la fiscalía,
2007?
DUI prior.
la fiscalía le preocupa de que él puede estar a riesgo de escaparse y tiene un caso de manejar bajo la influencia del alcohol del 2007.
The state asks that Your Honor keep the bond at $1,000 each count.
La fiscalía está solicitando de que su señoría mantenga la fianza a $1,000 por cada acusación.
Judge, I believe that the flight risk is taken care of by the fact that he's going to be held no bond on the immigration hold.
Su señoría, yo no creo que él está a riesgo de escaparse. En su caso de inmigración lo pondría bajo custodia.
Weren't we discussing yesterday when I was here a possible giving him a furlough on this to let him go down and take care of that instead of releasing him on his own recognizance? Sorry about that, I didn't see it.
We did float that around with a similar case yesterday, Judge. I believe we didn't end up doing it because they had other issues that held them.
Okay.
I do believe that that would be the only way that you could ensure that he both gets a clock going for him to be taken down to deal with his immigration hold, and if he either doesn't get picked up or gets released there, it would automatically bring him back based on the furlough being expired, as long as it doesn't expire before he gets released.
So that's a way I can make everybody happy. That's my goal in life as a judge, is to make everybody happy.
Estábamos hablando de si transportarlo para Miami o liberarlo bajo su propia responsabilidad. Señor juez, yo creo que si él no lo recogen porque expira la orden de transporte.
All right, so I'm going to leave the bond the way it is, but I am going to grant him a furlough to go take care of his immigration issues. If you'll prepare the order, I'll go ahead and sign it here, okay?
Voy a mantener la fianza como está, señor, y la orden de transporte para que usted pueda ir y ocuparse de su caso de inmigración.
Okay.
I cannot hear what the state is saying. If they could just get a little closer.
¿Puede usted posponer el caso?
It's confinement status. They're trying to figure out if they can do that. So let's put him
Para
on
ver si-
recall for a minute and make sure that furlough idea works.
Un momento,
Good
vamos
idea.
a llamar al caso otra vez.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, recall. Okay, Ray Anthony Williams. Where's Ray Anthony Williams? Main jail?
Main jail, Judge.
Okay.
Coming up.
All right, I'm going to find probable cause, and I guess the issue is count 1. Well, count 2 has a bond of $1,000. Count 3 has a $750, and 4 and 5 are infractions which don't require a bond. So possession of a weapon and ammo by a convicted felon. What's his prior record?
Your Honor, he has a pending DWLS 2019, a 2018 possession of cocaine, pending. A 2016 DWLS, 2014 DWLS, 2002 possession of cocaine, 80-month state prison. 1993 possession of cocaine, 4-year state prison. 1993 possession of cocaine, 4-year state prison. 1996 firearm by a felon, 4 years state prison.
All right, recommendations?
Your Honor, the state's recommending $10,000 bond on count 1
And leave the other ones the same?
and leave the other ones as is, Judge. And the state's asking that Your Honor revoke his bond on the pending possession of cocaine, case number 1811953CF10A.
Okay. That's a violation of the conditions of the bond, so I'll revoke his bond on that, and I will set the bond on count 1 at $10,000.
Judge, if we just might be heard for the record, I understand that this does violate the terms of his bond. However, I would be requesting if Your Honor would be willing to step out his supervision and rather than revoke him, place him on all counts on a $4,000 bond and then also a GPS monitor on a level 2 pretrial release.
He's not a good candidate for bond, so I'm going to revoke his bond.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, next is Tony Baker.
No problem, John.
Are you ready for me to recall?
Hello, can you hear me? Good morning.
Okay, Tony Baker's in
He's
North.
North Broward.
All right.
And there's no objection to the convenience bonds as already set.
So the bonds are fine. I'm going to find probable cause. Bernard Brooks, main jail. All right. All right, I'm going to find probable cause. He has no bond that's currently set on this.
That's right, Judge. We would be requesting a $2,000 bond to be set on Mr. Brooks.
Okay, any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
No? That's all right. All right, I'll set his bond at $2,000 then. That's the $2,000 bond there. All right, let me recall Guzman.
Sorry, Judge. I apologize. If we could recall Mr. Brooks, I had a brief misunderstanding with him. I thought he said that he was able to afford the bond, but unfortunately he's not. If Your Honor would place him on a pre-trial release level 2 with a GPS.
That's fine?
Correct, yeah, we have no.
Okay. All right, so on Mr. Brooks, we're changing the disposition here to a level 2 with a GPS instead of a $2,000 bond. Okay? Yeah, and no return to the location. And don't touch any cars. Except his own. Okay, next is Roman Perez Guzman. We're recalling him.
Yes, Judge. 1 second.
All right, confinement status. Did you figure out if we can do that? You can't put him on furlough. Okay.
¿Averiguó usted si se puede hacer? No, no podemos ponerlo para transportarlo. Él pagó su fianza, inmigración está supuesto a recogerlo. La familia pagó su fianza.
Well, I don't see any reason not to ROR him then.
Entonces no veo por qué no lo podemos liberar bajo su propia responsabilidad.
Because if they're going to post the bond, what's the difference?
Si ellos van a poner la fianza, ¿cuál es la diferencia?
Your Honor, I think it's because he has to take care of the immigration hold.
Su señoría, yo creo que es porque él tiene primero que resolver la orden de detención de inmigración.
Okay. I'll release him on his own recognizance on count 1 and count 2 so he can go take care of his immigration hold. You
Le
understand?
voy a liberar bajo su propia responsabilidad para que vaya y resuelva su caso de migración. En
Okay,
cuanto,
escucha un minuto, señor.
Sí.
You need to make sure that when you get done with immigration,
Asegúrese que cuando usted termine su caso de inmigración,
you come back here
usted regresa acá
to resolve this case.
para resolver este caso.
And the public defender is appointed on your case at this time.
Y el defensor público está asignado en su caso, en este momento.
Because what'll happen is you'll get a court date to come back to court on this case.
Porque lo que va a ocurrir es que usted va a recibir un citatorio para el tribunal para regresar aquí en este caso.
And you're not going to be able to because immigration is still going to be pending.
Y usted no lo podrá hacer porque inmigración todavía estará pendiente.
And you'll be in custody because of the immigration.
Y usted va a estar en custodia o arrestado debido al caso de inmigración
In Miami.
en Miami.
So your lawyer here has to make sure that the judge who gets this case
Entonces,
knows that you're in immigration custody so that they don't issue another warrant for your arrest on this case.
Su abogado de aquí tiene que saber, estar enterado de que usted está en Miami para que no le den una orden de arresto en el caso de aquí.
So when you're done with immigration,
Entonces, cuando usted termine con inmigración,
if they release you,
si es que ellos lo ponen en libertad,
you'll be released.
usted será puesto en libertad.
But you still have to come back here to get this case resolved.
Pero usted aún tiene que regresar acá para resolver este caso.
You understand?
¿Entiende usted?
If you have any questions, ask your attorney.
Si tiene alguna pregunta, pregúntele a su abogado.
Okay? Is that
Okay.
correct? You guys are going to know that in the public defender's office that when he gets his court date that he's in the custody of immigration so that the judge knows not to issue a warrant?
We will make the note, Judge.
Okay.
Vamos a
No, I
sabrán
want you to
ustedes.
personally go to court on that.
We'll see, Judge.
Okay.
Anoten que por favor él va a estar bajo custodia de inmigración para que no reciba una orden de arresto.
Okay.
Yo quiero que usted vaya personalmente al tribunal en eso. Lo hemos anotado.
Okay, it's noted.
Yeah.
All right, next is Cambrel Morse. Or Mars. Main jail?
Medical reset.
North Broward,
Medical
Judge.
reset.
Medical reset, okay. Daniel Kotov.
That is a medical reset, Judge.
Okay, that's a medical reset as well. Eric Lodenqual or Lodenquai? Lodenquai, possession of
Main
meth.
jail, Judge. He's on his way up.
Okay. All right, I'm going to find probable cause.
Thank you, Judge. There's currently $1,000 bond set on the possession charge. Mr. Lorenqua is unable to pay a monetary bond at this time. He's not currently working. He does have extensive ties to the community. Would be requesting that you place him on standard pretrial release, calling a couple times per week.
State any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. He has a 1989 uttering forged instrument and theft, 90 days state prison.
90 days state prison? Usually that'd be county time.
Well, yeah, that's true. County time.
It was the 80s, Judge.
It was the 80s. Okay. The 80s defense. Okay. It's a different time, a different place.
Your Honor, he has a pending possession of cannabis, possession of drug paraphernalia. He pled to a possession of methamphetamine in 2019. He has a 2018 possession of drug paraphernalia, a 2016 possession of cocaine, which he violated his probation, 2016 petty theft, 2013, possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and a bunch more drug offense release.
Does he have one that's pending now? Or are they all resolved?
It looks like it's filed. It's a possession of cannabis and a possession of drug paraphernalia. I can look up the case number because I only see the book ID.
Okay.
Judge, because the nature of most of his priors do seem to be drug related, what I would recommend is that if he is placed on standard pretrial release, that he be given a substance abuse evaluation preceded by subsequent treatment. He is inclined and willing to receive treatment, and I think that is better than having him here.
Oh, Your Honor, it looks like he pled to the possession of the methamphetamine and the other charges were filed after.
Okay. So he doesn't have anything pending other than this case at this
Correct, Your
time.
Honor.
You know, I'm gonna leave the bond the way it is. I'm gonna recommend, drug treatment, for him, or a drug evaluation for him, but I'm gonna just leave the bond the way it is, and the division judge can, make the determination. Okay? Next is Jesus, Reguero. Okay. All right, violation of, probation or community control, there's probable cause.
So Judge, this one's a little more complicated.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's the situation. The affidavits themselves, if you look at them, were dated September 17th. He then went to court on September 18th. He pled at that time before Judge Fine. Judge Fine reinstated special conditions 30 days Broward County Jail.
Okay.
That just ended. What happened is then the actual affidavit was filed 2 days later. And so he resolved it. Judge Fine didn't adjudicate it, but reinstated him. And then they filed the actual affidavit and put the warrant in. But it had been resolved.
Right.
And so I'm asking.
The paperwork just caught up a little late.
Correct.
All right, State, can you verify that? So the paperwork I have up here has a warrant signed by Judge Fine on October 7th. And when was when did he do the time that he was supposed to do? When was it resolved in court? Do you show that?
He pled September 18th, and so he's been sitting in since then until, I'm guessing yesterday he was going to get out, but then they saw the.
How did they pick him up on the 18th without a signed warrant? Did he take him into custody?
He was taking it, so the probation officer, I guess, submitted, or it was signed September 17th is what I saw, or, yeah, September 17th.
Yeah, the warrant I have is, it was, September's crossed off, and it's dated October 7th.
See, I don't see anything that says.
Can you tell over there confinement status on this, how it, sort of the sequence of events? Warrant.
Yeah, look here, it says October.
Everything I have is dated October 7th as far as the warrant. And you're saying he was taken into custody on this when?
See, yeah, I don't have any, see, they don't give me what you have, they give me this one sheet, and I don't see anything on the court system from a filing from October 7th, but what I can see is on September 18th, 2019, he was in front of Judge Fine, and they resolved the violation of probation to 30 days Broward County Jail, reinstatement, special condition, 30 days Broward County Jail. And so that would have just ended. I don't know how he could have violated if he's been in jail for the last month. I just don't see anything on the court case.
Let's see what the warrants.
I was released October 5th.
Okay. And then they took you back into custody.
They took me right back in. They beat me up.
Okay. The allegations in the warrant are a September 5th, positive test.
We resolved that already.
Right. State, can you tell?
Your Honor, I mean, our copy says October 7th also. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to read through.
Does he have a court date? Yeah, sure. Here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'll probably just ROR him. He's under supervision anyway, is under community control. So he doesn't need to be, I'll just release him on his own recognizance, and then he can, if this is still pending, they'll send you a court date and you'll have to go in front of Judge Fine. Yeah, and just explain the same thing to him, and he'll remember you because he's, was there. And, then you'll take care of it. So I'll release you on your own recognizance, all right?
Thank you.
And you still have to stay in touch with community control and, all their restrictions and all that, all right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Helping me out.
All right. LaShawn Jones,
Main jail, Judge.
all right? All right, I'm gonna find probable cause, and it's a warrant.
Correct, Judge. It's currently set at a $35,000 bond. Mr. Jones is unable to post that amount of monetary bond. He is currently on disability. He resides with his mom. He's not employed. Does have extensive ties to the community, Judge. I'll be requesting that he be placed on pretrial release level 2 with a GPS.
All right, we have an officer here. Let me place you under oath. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, tell me your name, please.
Stephen Kastner on behalf of the City of Hollywood Police Department.
Okay, and what's your position on this?
We were concluding an eight-month-long investigation in an area where he resides. I understand it's only a second-degree felony, but we sat down with Judge Zusan with over 20 individuals in a joint operation with a couple federal agencies. After a string of a bunch of violence in the area stemming from the drugs, so we sat down with Judge Zusan. He set the bond at $35,000 with some
Okay.
special conditions.
All right.
There's a little bigger picture for us in the Hollywood community.
Okay, well, I mean, look, this has already been done, and it's been heard, and it's gonna stay the same. So I'm gonna find probable cause and leave the bond at $35,000.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Travis Johnson?
Your Honor, no problem. Your Honor, if we can also keep all special conditions.
Yeah, exactly the same way it is right now. I'm not changing anything. Thank you. All right, Travis Johnson? Where's Mr. Johnson? There he is. Okay. It's what?
He's here, Judge. Main jail, sorry.
Okay.
Coming up.
All right, I'm gonna find probable cause. All right, happy with the bond, want a lower bond?
Judge, at this time, I would be requesting if Your Honor would be inclined to reduce the bond to $500 on each of counts 1 and 2. He would be able to afford that, but not anything above that.
Okay, state, what's the priors, and what's your recommendation?
Your Honor, we don't see any priors out of Broward County. Given that the defendant is from out of state, the state would ask that you, Your Honor, keep the $1,000 bond on each count.
Okay, I show an address of, a permanent address of Boca Raton. 0 months? You just moved there? All right. Let me,
Judge, he has been there for 3 years.
let me place you under oath.
Me?
Raise your right
Yes,
hand.
sir.
Yeah. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Tell me your full name. You can put your hand down.
Travis Scott Johnson.
Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson, tell me a little bit about your ties to this community. What do you do? Where you been? You know, that kind of thing. In terms of Broward County or Palm Beach.
Yes, sir. I currently stay with my sister. She lives in 10784 Lake Oakway, Boca Raton. I have so far since I've been here, I do sales, car sales. I worked for Honda. I've worked for Schumacher and Delray. Right now I'm currently doing vacation sales. And that's the only sales I'm doing, sir.
Okay. And how long have you been there staying with your sister at that address?
Since I moved here end of December, so I believe the correct date is December 16th, 2016, sir.
Okay. And where are you from originally?
Harlem, New York.
Okay. And what kind of bond can you make?
Sir, honestly, I probably got family I could probably help or so, or not, but I got $1,000 I can make, sir.
Okay. I'll go ahead and set the bond at $500 per count for a total of $1,000. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right. Next is Nicholas Shogun.
Main jail judge, he's approaching.
Okay. All right, count two is a violation of community control. There's no bond on that. And he's got a bond of $100 on count one.
Correct, Judge. The no bond hold is out of Monroe County. I would be requesting that he be ROR on the leaving the scene here, so he's able to take care of his probation violation down in Monroe County.
Okay, I'll do that. ROR count one, and then he can go down to Monroe County and visit the Keys and get that taken care of. Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Yep. Altravon Crowell.
Main jail as well, Judge. He is approaching.
Okay. Carrying a concealed firearm, and has a $1,000 bond, and possession of cannabis is not charged. So let's see. I'm gonna find probable cause for the firearm charge. State priors.
Priors, Your Honor, out of Broward.
Okay. Defense, what are you asking for?
Judge, at this time, Mr. Crowell is only able to afford a $500 bond on count one. We would be requesting that you reduce it to that amount. If Your Honor wants to add a condition that he not carry any concealed firearms at this point or no weapons in dependency of his case.
Okay, let me place you under oath. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, tell me your full name. You can put your hand down.
Altravon Crowell.
And how old are you?
21.
All right, and where do you live?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I know, but where? With whom? You have a place? Your grandmother?
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever gotten into trouble before? All right, tell me about that.
I think it was a battery charge.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
December 6th.
All right, is that still pending, or is that done and over with?
I don't know what's going on with their case. They never called me for a court. They didn't know nothing, so I don't think I get.
Both counts were declined. It was a battery and a...
Okay, it was dropped. The state attorney dropped it. They just looked it up. Okay, so that's dropped. All right, well, and what kind of bond can you afford?
$500.
Okay. All right, I'm going to reduce your bond to $500, and you know, you have to show up for court. If not, they'll issue a warrant for your arrest. You know that, right? Okay. And the address is, let me just verify the address. 3020 Northwest 6th Court, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33311. Is that right?
Say it.
Yes.
All right, that's your grandmother's address.
Yeah.
You sure? Because you look like you're not sure. Tell me your address.
Yeah.
Tell me your address yourself. Go ahead.
3020 Northwest 6th Court, Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
33311.
All right. Sounds like you know the address. All right.
Long
Your
morning,
Honor.
Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the state asked that you would add the defendant not have any weapons or firearms.
Yep, I am. Condition, tell him, condition, no weapons or firearms. Okay?
He's up, Judge.
Okay. Jose,
Judge, the next,
go ahead.
sorry, the next case, due to the nature of the charges, Judge, I'd like to place this on a very brief recall so I could inform him of some particulars.
Okay,
and I will
that's
come
fine.
right back. Thank you.
All right. Oh, he's just gonna take a break. Yeah. State, are you always assigned in here, or do they, I know they rotated because you guys weren't here. So how do you get rotated in?
Every 3 months, they just rotate.
And
The
what's your
ASs.
regular assignment? Where are you?
I'm in, well, we're both in West Satellite. I'm in front of Judge Feld, and Erica's in front of.
Judge Francois.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great. So
we're
you got a
due to
nice
come
group.
back soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get rotated in here about every 6 months or so.
6 months.
Yeah. I'm in civil, general civil, so.
Okay.
But I was in criminal for like a year and a half. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna find probable cause on Mr. Jose Amaya Garcia.
Judge, we do need a Spanish interpreter for Mr. Amaya.
Okay. Madam Interpreter, you're still under oath from when I placed you under oath a few minutes ago. Let me place him under oath.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Garcia, do you solemnly swear, raise your right hand.
Señor García, lo voy a poner bajo juramento. Por favor, levante su mano derecha.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Usted jura solemnemente o afirma decir la verdad y solamente la verdad y que Dios lo ayude.
Okay, he can put his hand down.
Puede bajar su mano.
Okay. So I'm gonna find probable cause,
Voy a encontrar causa probable.
and this is a capital offense, so it's no bond.
Eso es una ofensa capital, no va a tener fianza.
Your Honor, the state asks that Your Honor find proof evident and presumption great.
La fiscalía está pidiendo que encuentre la asunción de las pruebas.
So, Judge, this is the situation. First, just to correct you, it's actually a life offense, not a capital offense. The effect of what you were thinking of is the same.
So it's a life offense, not a capital offense.
Right.
Quisiera aclarar, no es un caso de
I thought sexual battery
Vida
on a
es
child
capital.
under the age of 12 was a,
That's not the charge.
oh, it's not. Let me see. Let me reread that again.
It's a life offense, not a...
Déjeme leer el caso otra vez. Es un caso de vida.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Está
It's
correcto.
not a sexual battery.
no es una
Lewd lascivious behavior,
agresión sexual.
molestation under the age of 12. So you're
Es
correct.
conducta lasciva en una víctima menor de 12 años, está correcto.
For an individual to be held no bond at this stage, one of two things has to occur.
Para que el individuo sea mantenido sin fianza, en este caso deben ocurrir una de dos cosas.
Either the state needs to make a filing for pretrial detention, which they have not in this case.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The first is either the state would have to make a filing for pretrial detention, which they have not done in this case.
Y la fiscalía tendría que poner una orden de detención previa al juicio, lo cual no lo han hecho en este caso.
Or Your Honor has to find proof evident presumption great on the counts before us today.
O su señoría tendría que encontrar pruebas mayores.
And the fourth DCA is clear that proof evident presumption great goes beyond the beyond a reasonable doubt standard.
El tribunal de la cuarta instancia ha encontrado, I'm sorry, the fourth DCA has found that.
The proof evident presumption great goes beyond the beyond a reasonable doubt standard.
Proven presumption great. Beyond, I'm sorry.
Beyond a reasonable doubt standard.
Ha encontrado que debe haber prueba más allá de el estándar razonable.
For the charges before us today, touching by itself is not sufficient.
Y en el caso de hoy, aquí, solamente tocar no es, por sí solo, no es suficiente.
And the probable cause lacks the specificity needed.
Y la causa probable no tiene la especificación necesaria
To rise to the proof evident presumption great standard the state's asking for today.
para que se eleve al nivel de la prueba y la presunción que necesitamos hoy.
So I would object to the finding the state's asking for.
Yo objeto entonces a lo que la fiscalía está solicitando.
State?
Your Honor, the probable cause affidavit clearly states where the defendant kissed the child on the lips one time and also rubbed her thighs while kissing her vagina over her
I'm
clothes.
sorry, give me a second. Su señoría, el reporte policial indica que el acusado besó a la niña, and I'm sorry, and what else?
He kissed the child on the lips.
Besó al menor en los labios, I'm sorry, how many?
One time.
Una vez.
And also rubbed her thighs.
Y también le tocó los muslos.
While kissing her vagina over her clothes.
Mientras le besaba la vagina por encima de su ropa.
Judge, I would say that a kiss, and that's all it's described as,
Su
how it's
señoría,
described is not inherently
un beso, solamente como está descrito, no es prueba.
and definitely not to the level that the state.
Proof is evident and presumption is great. If it were just the victim's testimony, but he admitted on another occasion that he kissed the victim's
La prueba es
vagina over her
suficiente,
clothing.
pero él admitió
So he
en otra
admitted
ocasión
the charges, plus you have the
que había
victim's
besado a la
testimony.
víctima.
So the proof is evident and the presumption is great.
Hay prueba suficiente.
Judge, at this time we will be invoking Mr. Amaya's right
En
to
este
remain silent.
momento
We
estamos
will give it-
invocando el derecho del señor Amaya que se mantenga en silencio.
And request that any law enforcement agencies or the state attorney's office or any of their delegates not have any contact with Mr. Amaya without contacting counsel before.
Y estamos solicitando que ninguna agencia policial ni la fiscalía tenga contacto con el señor Amaya, si no es a través de sus abogados.
All right, and you guys file that in writing, don't you, in the, with his paperwork so that it's actually, okay.
Por favor,
Judge.
archive
Okay.
por escrito.
Okay,
Lo
thank you.
haremos. Gracias.
All right, Lewis Hill,
Medical reset.
medical reset, okay. And the last one is Alex Dubuisson, or
Medical
Dubuisson?
reset.
Medical reset as well, all right?
Your Honor, if we can call Alexander de Jesus Hernandez, this is the one that we needed a supplemental
From
report.
yesterday?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. I don't have that paperwork up here today, but
Your Honor, I have an extra copy.
that'd be great. Yep. Thank you.
And we need a Spanish interpreter as well, Judge.
Okay. Yeah, reset from yesterday, reset from the day before, who just hasn't been brought up until today. You don't have any paperwork? Okay, well, since we have the time, we can figure it out here. All right, let me read this over again. All right, so this is a misdemeanor battery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Este
And
es
a
un
trespass, Your Honor.
delito menor de agresión y de ingresar a propiedad sin permiso.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna find probable cause.
Voy a encontrar causa probable.
And what's the situation here in terms of bond?
¿Cuál es la situación aquí en referencia a la fianza?
I believe it had already been set at $1,000.
Yo creo que ya había sido
All right.
asignada por $1,000.
I'll keep it at
Lo
$1,000.
voy a
Your
mantener
Honor.
a $1,000.
No victim contact.
Y
Yeah.
no contacto con la víctima.
So ordered. No victim contact.
Queda ordenado, no contacto con la víctima.
All right, we don't have any paperwork here, so we got to draw up the paperwork. Here's the.
No tenemos ningún documento aquí, tenemos que preparar los documentos.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is that it for today?
Seems that way, Judge. Thank you.
Okay.
Pass me the staple. Oh, it wasn't bad.
On these profile reports, I know, but I mean, do I just throw them away, or is there a shredder they have to go through? Yeah, just take them and, make sure they don't go somewhere they shouldn't. Thanks. Okay, we're off the record. Thank you all, job well done.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, that's fine, I'll sign.
So, these are the dispos. Those are like the, yeah, like no victim contacts. So,
I gotta sign that last one, so you gotta wait for the paperwork on that as well.
if you want to separate them here? Yeah, that's fine. Take them all together because I'm gonna take the PPO. Yeah, I wrote it down. What está buscando? I'm just like separating, just trying to find other people if they have anything. That's about it. Hmm? Let's do that. So I go for her. This goes for her. This is Unro. Broadway, ciega. Okay. So esta no es nada, ¿qué es este? Nada. Y este tampoco. I'll put them, yeah, got it. All right. Boosie. That one. That's the one you have. That one is violation of probation. So sorry. Ahí está. Vernon Trey. Vernon Trey Lewis. This. Price, Michael. Same thing. Out of county hall.
Where's Dale Miller assigned these days? Is he here during the week or?
Stain. Stain. Lascano. Scano.
Okay.
Oh my God. I have to make sure I signed all of these right. All right, Lascano right now.
There you go. Uh-huh. Yeah, Dale was my, the senior PD in my division when I was in criminal.
Okay, so this one is a KPS now. Replace.
All right, you guys have a good rest of the weekend.
Thank you,
too,
Your Honor.
Judge.
You too.
Thank you.
We just said that one, right?
Yeah.
We just said it. Scott. If we can call the judge back. Alford. That's fine. Yeah. Merit. Do the series. Depends on that sex bat. No, the series offender 18 years of age or older. Less than 16 years of age. I guess I can ask Eric. I'll put it to the side just.
Oh, okay.
Is this a sex bat?
Yeah.
Alright. What is this one? Why is this here?
Is this from
That's the
yesterday?
one from Toby. I'll let him know that was on, so that he knows. Why we leave it for Eric? I think he's supposed to check about that. I'm just gonna let him know that's significant, because I don't want him to think it overly. Thank you, you too.
Do it again on Saturday.
Sorry, which one? Higgins.